and welcome to day 6 of Vlogtober and a very, very happy Friday. I am so pleased that it is Friday. Yesterday was quite the day. It was a bit of a struggle bus, so it's probably good that it was Gabs' day. But I am so excited. I have a very light schedule at work today, which is awesome, and I am here early. It is just a little bit after 6 and today is short run day, so that means I can get done faster. I can shower and then I can sit in my office and have probably at least half an hour before the actual work day starts to like knit, you know, top priority, eat breakfast, all the things. I'm so excited. I have so many things though to do tonight when I get back, because I am working tomorrow, which is wonderful. And then not all day, I should be home by like 2ish, but still, like, that's a huge chunk of the day, so you can't really get a million things done. So I want to get home, do laundry, and then I have some knitting things I need to work on. I have been influenced, persuaded, choose the verb, but I think I'm doing the Stephen West MCAL with my sister and a couple other folks. I know she has an Instagram chat going. I'm pretty sure, like, if you still want to join that, let my sister know. She's the good organizer of that. Sorry about that light here. So I picked out yarn, so I just need to get them all kicked up to get going on that. I do want to make some progress on my excavation sweater, which I have touched not at all, so that's wonderful. And I added, since I'm adding in the MCAL to the projects I'm bringing with me, I had to take out 1 skein of sock yarn. Clearly that's gonna equate to the 4 skeins I'm bringing for this shawl, but whatever. It fits in the luggage, so we're not gonna complain about it. We just have to make sure it's under the 50 pounds. And I really wanna focus on getting some knitting done. I haven't caught up on my knitting journal probably since August, just with everything going on. So I would love to either do that either tonight or tomorrow. So there are still a lot of things to do, but most of them are crafty, which is really nice and really the goal. So we'll see. I have 2 miles to run today. Not so bad. It is super duper foggy. You can't really see on camera, but it's definitely giving spooky kooky vibes. And I like to listen to like fairy tales or tales. It's a podcast I listen to on Spotify when I run, but they're basically the original like retellings of fairy tales, fables, so they can be a little bit dark and gory, so it can be scary. We'll see how it goes. So morning success. I have made it to the office early. I am having a great mood. I got my bagel ready. I even remembered cranberry juice. I love cranberry juice. And I settle down and I get ready to watch Vlogtober day 5. And Gabrielle has had the audacity to not have it ready for me to watch for my breakfast. So now I just have to sit here and ponder my thoughts. But at least I have time to settle, have a nice breakfast, and then jump in for the rest of the day. So I finally put in my markers the other night, and I learned I had enough, or I had done enough that I was already at where I would be marking to cut in the heel. I am doing these as an afterthought, and I like to do around 50 or 60 for like the leg, and then probably do another 60 for the foot, and then I'll do the toe. And then I did pick out a, where is she, contrast, just to spice it up, to add in to do the heel. So this is one from one of my row 1 subscriptions, and it is, the dyer is Pancake and Lulu, and it is called Peony. So I am going to add that in just for the heel, so I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so I was able to skip out a little bit early. My colleagues are able to cover things for the last hour of the day, and one of them was hosting a training for her student ambassadors. So she let me have some of the extra pizza, so now I don't have to cook dinner, and we are winning our Friday afternoon. I'm gonna scurry home, probably shower really quick and get that laundry going, and then we have a bunch of like knitting, getting things ready to do so I can like actually have an evening, and plus the pizza then does save me from having to make dinner. So extra time for all the crafts. Well, we've got a lot of new friends today. Alrighty, so I have transferred my laundry over to the dryer, and I watered my plants, ate some dinner, and now I actually changed the sheets. That's like one of my least favorite chores. It's just not fun. But now I am going to wind up my yarn for the Stephen West MCAL. I have not started it yet, so great, good for me. Here I am. And so I picked out my colors here. We're going for like a purpley grayish vibe. The first is Lisa Souza Knitwear and Dye Works. I bought this from Lofty Loos on the Sierra Nevada Yarn Crawl in 2022. And this colorway is called Iced Violet. And then my next one, and I will actually share two at a time. These were yarns that were dyed up by my friend Elizabeth, who lives in Virginia. And I don't believe that she sells her yarn, so these are very special. And so she's calling her brand name for her yarn is called Highland Yarn, and that is both of these, and they do not have a name. But I find them very, very pretty. And then this last one, I've actually worked with this yarn before. I used this for my Something Cozy. This is Earl Grey Fiber Company, and the colorway is flannel. So these are the yarns I'm going to use for the MCAL. So I just need to wind these babies up. Very special segment of today's Vlogtober, because while catching up on all of my, let's call them knitting chores, because it's the things that like I like the end results of, but not a huge fan of the process. I procrastinated enough on catching up with my knitting journal that I actually finished my entire knitting journal. This is my first one ever. I was inspired by the Crazy Sock Lady to catalog all of my projects, all of my making. It's technically more of a making journal because it does contain both knitting and crochet, mostly knitting, but I finally finished this. I started this in January of 2021. It is October of 2023. This has been a slog. When I first started this, I had plans. The little stars are how many of those plans I actually finished. Incredible. I did some cute little doodles. I was like, my first pair that was in this were a pair of Felici socks, cupcake karaoke. I think these were I apparently started these when I was teaching my friend Michaela how to knit, who you all might have seen on past videos before, so that's exciting. So throughout this process, I have been cataloging the project details, and I do include a little note if there's something that was significant about it. So you can see this is when I was feeling extra and did little doodles. That stopped real fast. So all of these are here. I include a little bit of the yarn from the project, and at some point, we're gonna see that I got my dad, or my mom and dad got me the Canon mini print, and see, all right, so this is where I started to be able to put in pictures, because my mini print, which is charging right now because I just printed off like 11 projects, it prints onto this great paper that is actually a sticker. So it just sticks right in. It is a little pricey, I will say, for the paper, but I only use it for this, and I don't actually finish projects, I guess, as fast as I think I do. So it ends up not being a huge expense all the time for me. So this is just a really great memory keepsake of all of my different projects. Like, this was my Lotus sample with all these great yarns in it. So this is going to be so fun just to keep in my craft room, in my space, so I can just have this as a little keepsake of all of the projects. So the final project that I included, it was actually labor number 3 from Knit Killies. These were the socks that I was like risking it all on, so that is really nice. And I actually had enough projects I had procrastinated on that I started my next making journal, or my knitting and crochet journal. So this notebook, I have no idea where it is from, the actual vendor, but I know this was given to me by my friend Elizabeth for, I believe it was my birthday. And then this notebook was given to me by my friend and colleague Nathan for Christmas. I think it was last year. So hopefully I can keep up this, tradition of my friends giving me my journals for my making. And so I did entry number 1, which were my autumn ombre socks that I finished just last week before the start of Vlogtober. My learning from doing the other making journal is 1 page should be for the stuff and the other should be for the writing. The way I was doing it was everything was combined, you saw, onto 1 page, which ended up giving me more pages to use, but it was really difficult to write like on the page where like the back had like the yarn, because it started to get really bulky. So I think I'm going to keep up this process of, if you're looking at the paper, the left side has the stuff, and then the right side has the writing, to just make it easier on myself. So this was a really an exciting moment. So I think this was kind of the last of my knitting chores, and then I am going to settle in and work on my, hold on, it's gonna come to me, my excavation sweater that I have been dying to get some work on. I lied. I have to go get my laundry and then fold said laundry. And then we're gonna be knitting, which I realize now I might be knitting on my socks again because it's already 7:15 and I need to go to bed early to be able to get up for work tomorrow. So much for me getting to work on that sweater, but that's okay. I will work on it. I'll bring it to work with me tomorrow during my break, and I will work on that sweater. And then for the rest of the day tomorrow, I'll work on that sweater and maybe start the MCAL. I don't know why I put pressure on myself. No one else is telling me what I have to do other than me, but I got a lot of the things done. So we're going to be proud of that. But the laundry, actually, the alarm went off like 20 minutes ago, so I better go get that. Anybody else do this tactic where you put your clean clothes, freshly dried, on your bed so that you have to fold them or you cannot go to sleep?